Check us out, check us out, check us out. Okay. Welcome to the Maarcus Hall podcast. We have a special guest, Miss. Should I say polite green or just polite? How are we gonna do that?
Yeah.
Just Veneda?
Veneda makes it easy for everybody. V makes it even easier.
I don't think I ever call you Miss Green.
No, I don't think many people do. It's usually V. Like it makes life so simple.
So we're gonna say V.
V.
So the world knows V. So. All right, so we doing this. This is my 17th episode of my podcast.
17, all right.
So the lucky 17, you know.
Lucky 17. I didn't know that was lucky, but it's gonna be lucky tonight.
Yeah. We're gonna make it lucky. So and then I put on your subtitle. I put wife, mother, business owner, mentor, and a boss. She's a boss.
I'm all those things.
And we'll get that. We'll get to that part towards the end.
Okay.
So I always kind of do like a warm up thing where I ask kind of like warm up questions and see. What it is and see how many we have in common. So, when is your birthday?
March 23rd, man.
March 23rd. It's kind of close to mine, so it's coming up though.
If you wasn't born in March, you're not special.
So March. So what are you in March? What's March? What is
March 23rd.
No, I'm saying like what's the horror?
Don't say horror, man. Do you believe in that stuff?
I don't believe it, but some people out there do. Like the world, some people out there, they want to know what.
You believe like today is your lucky day and you should wear blue.
No, but you like I'm a Taurus. I just want to know what's your sign,
right.
I guess.
So mine's is the Aries.
Oh, so, I heard things about Aries, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Then they got the all Aries are this, and which is so untrue. And then they got the you really bullheaded and you.
But some of that stuff be true though.
No, but it doesn't matter what sign you pick up. You're definitely gonna pick up some of the traits, and then some people are not. They're gonna be the polar opposite. So
right, true.
That kind of stuff is always amazing to me. That people really like wholeheartedly believe. Oh no, I'm this.
Yeah, we Christians, so we really don't believe in like that.
We don't really believe in that.
Yeah, I remember growing up, my mom we couldn't read that stuff. Like in school, you're like, what?
Right.
We don't believe in that.
Yeah, it's a scope of horror, the horoscope. It really is because literally, I've read it a few times, and it was like you're gonna meet somebody special. Wear blue today. I was wearing blue for like 7 weeks in a row.
Never happened.
I didn't meet nobody special. I was supposed to meet the garbage truck dude. I met him a couple times. Yeah, blue. I ran that out. But go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I'm an Aries. If
Aries.
that matters to somebody.
So you guys out there, Aries.
Yeah.
So what would be your favorite color?
Color's blue. I told you I had to wear it for like 2 weeks in a row. So just buy.
Mine is red. So I'm like blue.
Oh,
okay.
my whole kitchen is red by default.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
It is.
That's
my whole kitchen. I got the red kitchen thing going on.
So what would be your favorite movie?
Black Panther. Oh my goodness!
But that's new though. It can't be your.
Oh, if you have to do like traditional.
So we'll say 2. So we'll give you 2. No. That's too new.
Okay.
That's
First
last year.
of all, then you got to go back to The Sound of Music in The Wizard of Oz.
Somebody else told me Sound of Music. Like I never watched that before. So it's a good movie.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Yeah,
I
never
interview
seen it.
Over. What is that?
I've never seen it before.
Man,
but yeah, somebody. I think it must. Somebody like a couple.
Deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself for.
So you out there that hears this, I haven't never seen it. I'm about to watch it. So when you come back, we're gonna do it. Then I'll let you. We'll talk about it.
Slavery in reverse. It's because they're not really black, but they were running. It was it really let me know. That was the first time I learned that there were other people who were enslaved throughout the generations.
Right. Okay.
Because I thought that traditionally only people of color were enslaved. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's where I learned about, apartheid in Africa was something that kind of, it went to different places, and that Hitler's rule and other people their land was taken and they were kind of enslaved and their thoughts were trapped. So I kind of appreciated The Sound of Music for even touching that approach.
Right.
Because back in the day, you didn't even talk about that kind of thing. So, The Sound of Music was pretty deep to me.
But how old were you? You think you?
Oh my God, I had to
first
be
seen it
like 8.
Did you understand it when you first seen it?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I just like the music because it's a musical.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's nothing. I don't like musical.
Kids.
I don't like musical movies. Like,
it's the second time I'm almost walked out of this interview.
I'm just like
you skating.
I think the only movie I like they can sing throughout the whole movie is like Annie. I watched that, but some movie I'm like I want to watch that movie. I don't watch all this singing.
Musicals, and I used to.
So you like Broadway and all that kind of stuff?
Synchronized swimming. Oh, when they used to be in the musical and they was in the god, you know. Oh my goodness, singing in the rain.
We'll somewhere in this interview we'll get to we on the same page, but that's not. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
We owe it to. Okay, go ahead. We gonna hit it out the park. Let's do it.
All right. So, what's your favorite dessert?
Ice cream.
What kind of ice cream?
Any kind, but I'm lactose intolerant.
So how that go?
Painfully, it goes painfully. That's
so you really like ice cream? You still eat it? You know you're supposed to eat it.
No, you know what's crazy is like for a long time I didn't know that was the issue, so I would just keep eating it. But now they have substitutes. Like they have one that's called rice dream ice cream. Man, I'm telling you.
So what is it made out of?
It's made out of rice milk, so it's not any kind of milk products. It doesn't have.
But does it taste like ice cream?
Man, I'm telling you, if you ever just
so if you gave me some, would I know?
You would not even know that it wasn't ice cream. That's how good it is.
So does it have a sweet taste to it still?
No, it tastes like ice cream. Like legitimately, like
it's called what is it called?
Rice Dream ice cream.
So you podcast listeners like go try that. I'm gonna try it, and I'll let her know. I'm like, this is disgusting.
It's not disgusting, and they got caramel. They got different flavors, but Rice Dream ice cream is the junk. It'll change my life, and I will eat a whole pint in one sitting.
Do they make different flavors or just vanilla?
They used to just have one flavor, but now they have multiple flavors. They also have soy dream. They have different types of substitute ice cream. Now, they haven't come up on the cheese because that little fake cheese is nasty. Oh, my God. It's like eating cardboard with rocks in it.
Yikes. That ain't good.
Yeah. The one thing they have substituted so far is the ice cream. Ice cream,
okay.
So yeah, ice cream is my favorite.
So that's their best sales right now.
That's
ice
the best
cream.
one.
Everything else is like kind of
whoever want to come up with something, come up with some cheese that tastes like decent. Not ground dirt. Yeah.
And that's big time. Like people don't understand cheese is a big factor.
Life.
You know,
it's
like you gotta.
It's everything.
I can't eat a hamburger with no cheese or a sandwich no cheese. I can't do it.
Favorite food.
Right, that's my. See, look, we here then.
For one.
Yeah.
We 1 and 3.
See, I should have started with food instead of going to dessert. The next one was pizza. Because you from New York, right?
Oh yes, come on.
So you have to
from the corner, like there's always a pizza shop on every corner.
Wow.
And the pizza, the cheese drips off of it. If the cheese is still on a pizza, it's not a real pizza.
Wow.
So y'all don't know nothing about that here because y'all cheese for some reason stays.
Well, I'm not from here, so don't try to put me in.
We
are in Arizona, so don't cheat trying to. I know I wasn't born here. I was born in the great state of Texas, the great state.
Oh. Great state. Okay. Oh, we're not gonna do it, are we? We're not gonna start with sports because
we're gonna get there because we always have this conversation. But what I was saying, you from New York. So if I went to New York, what would be your number one spot? You would tell me, Maarcus, go there and get this pizza.
Oh no, it's in the projects. It's actually, and I grew up in Harlem, so there's Sergio's, there's different little hot spots. They're not popular. Mm-hmm. You have to go to like 167th in Amsterdam. They're literally like you might walk past it. It's a storefront.
Gotcha.
They're so little, so we don't do a lot of commercial stuff. A lot of places when you go to different states, they tell you to go to a commercial restaurant.
Oh, okay, so you don't do that.
No, it's little tiny storefront like I said, you blink and you miss it.
And somebody told me too, when you from New York, I said when you eat the pizza, you gotta eat it hot too.
Oh no, like
if you
don't have 3rd-degree burns on your mouth and blisters, then you got that fake.
So you have to like
like because they actually have like different stuff. They have like Sbarro's. They have different regular pizza franchises there, but that's not we don't consider.
But since we're in Arizona, what's a pizza place here you think
there
you
is
like?
None? Let me reiterate that
there is one though. There is one.
There
is one that I think it can compete.
There are no.
Spinato's is pretty good.
I've tried that. There are no pizza places in Arizona.
Okay, so maybe it's more Chicago pizza.
That's Chicago style pizza. Now they do.
So NYPD is not one of those.
Oh my goodness! Now they don't. You can slap NYPD on anything. You can slap NY on anything, and that don't make it legit. Let me tell you how you know it's a New York pizza. When you pick the pizza up and you have to fold it, and the cheese is sliding out the back along with the oil. The oil has to make.
It has to go down your arm.
It has to go down your arm, and it has to be orange.
What?
The oil is orange
Why is it
because
orange?
there's so little
Tomato sauce?
so little sauce that when it comes in contact with this super greasy cheese, that it literally makes it orange sauce, kind of like ketchup.
Yeah, I noticed how her accent's changing as she talking about this pizza.
Because now
is that New York coming in?
Hey, easy. I'm almost done. When you notice when ketchup separates and you get that little orange, that's the color of.
So it has to have that.
If it don't have orange grease and the cheese hasn't slid completely off the pizza, it ain't real.
Got you.
We good?
I can't wait. Cause my family, we're making a trip. We're gonna try to make it maybe next year.
Okay.
Go to New York. They told me to go to Manhattan because I was so stupid. I was saying I want to go to the Bed-Stuy. They was like, that's not a city. No, that's like a neighborhood.
Yeah,
like that's neighborhood. So it's in Brooklyn. Okay. Because you always hear about Bed-Stuy, Chris Rock, and you talking about Jay-Z and all that.
I thought it was like a Mesa and a Levine.
Okay.
It's a part of Arizona, but it's a subset. But New York is different in that we have 5 boroughs. So,
okay.
Even in the boroughs, there are little, so like even in Mesa, there might be a subset called Highland. Like there's there's little tiny neighborhoods. So Bed-Stuy is a neighborhood in a borough,
right?
As a subdivision would be in Mesa.
Gotcha. And they say like Bed-Stuy right now is like it used to be. It's all fancy up now.
Oh, no, there's nothing
it's
in
nice.
New York. Gentrification is taking over. I mean, I grew up.
Is that for good though, or would you want it to be a little original?
It depends on who it would be good for.
Okay.
That's the answer, because a lot of people live there by subsidized living and they cannot live anywhere else. And
gotcha.
So what happens was, like it is for every place else, what you used to have was the slums were the cities, and they were the closest thing to the capitals and all that great stuff. Then people realized, why am I traveling an hour and a half on a ferry, a boat, 3 trains, a plane, and an automobile to get home when I could just live right here next to my job? So what they did was they had the people who lived in the slums, they overtook their area,
gotcha,
and they started making them live out in the suburbs.
Wow.
So they made them move out to the suburbs. So now the suburbs are falling apart, and now they have $1 million places to live right in the city. So yeah, it's great for them because they live 2 minutes away from work.
Yeah.
But now the slums are becoming the outskirts. So it doesn't matter, because it's bad when you don't take care of what you live in. So they didn't take care of the city when we lived there, and they let it fall apart, and now they're not taking care of the suburbs. So it really just depends on what you mean by, is it good?
Yeah. But like I said, I want to go and I want to get on the stoop, and sit on the stoop.
Yeah,
and see
definitely
that
still stoops, brownstones.
Brownstones,
right? Because that's you can. Well, when we lived there, it used to be like 10, 20 people living in one brownstone, like legit. Like they used to be apartments. So you take one brownstone and be about 3 to 5 stories high, and you'd have 2 to 4 to 5 apartments on each floor.
Okay.
So they would break them up into different apartments. But now, literally, 1 to 2 people own the brownstone. So they make these 1,500 to 3,500 to 5,000 square feet apartments, where that used to house 40 people. We would have, 700 square feet. But now somebody has 5,000 square feet. So you took something that used to house 5 people and you gave that to one person. But let me tell you what the numbers look like. That joker paying like 30. he paid 3.5 million for it. So we can't afford nothing there. It's becoming, I think it's basically worse than California at this point.
So my next question would be since we here, what is your career like? I know you just retired, so
oh my goodness,
what will be I would say, what did you come out of, and what are you doing now?
Oh, no. So, I have over 20 years of combined military and uniform service.
Too young to be 20 years? What do you mean? You started when you was 10?
Dude, I came straight out of college. I went into the Army when I was 19.
Wow. That had to be scary.
It was super scary. I was 19.
So when you say you went to the Army, did you went to boot camp and all that stuff?
No, dude. I just jumped into a uniform. Yes, I went to boot camp.
Like they waking you up at 4 o'clock in the morning and all that?
How about 3:26, dude? Dang. And you had just went to bed at 2:29. Like legit boot camp. So I enlisted. I was not. I enlisted full. I wasn't a reservist. So we was full time, hardcore. every day, all day, who are all in.
That's what I want to ask. So I know, since female wise, like, did you guys like? Was it a lot of? I know, was it more men than women, or?
Well, truthfully, what's crazy about my story is that I went to Fort Dix, which is in New Jersey, which at that point was predominantly a all male base. Previously, and they had started to integrate some of the bases to force them to have women on them.
Oh, okay.
Before there was the whole deal with the Navy SEALs and, what logistically where women could and could not be. But the gist of it was there were some bases that were just men bases. They were predominantly where men were trained, and they were making a lot of bases train women. So the drill sergeants there, and drill sergeants are just the people who are over you during your basic training season.
Okay.
Oh, man, when I say they couldn't stand females,
wow.
Like they hated us. I think they hated their own mothers because the way that they treated us, it was so disgusting. Wow. I got called every name in the book, and
Serious?
wasn't none of them in the Bible.
Wow.
They hated us, and
why you guys like slow them down or something? Or?
Well, no, it was like for them it was like a step down. It was like when you used to be a college professor and now you're teaching 2-year-olds.
Oh, okay.
It was a step down because to train a man to be able to do all the stuff physically, to be able to talk to a man, and then they were told that there are certain things that they should not do to us. Wow. Like put their hands on us. Like call, they did not care.
Wow.
Okay? They did not care. They was throwing us around. I got called, like I said,
so
everything but a child of God.
So when you did your time, like, was it like how many females would you?
Well, the same thing. We had a platoon, so there were about 20 or 30 of us in our platoon, and there were different sets of platoons. So, and we had different floors. So in our, whole squad, we had like 3 platoons in the building, so we had competitions between the 3 platoons. So they had their drill sergeants and we had our drill sergeants. So every platoon had like their set of drill sergeants, and they all hated us.
Wow.
So what would happen is sometimes like on the weekends they would give a certain set of platoon drill sergeants off. So then that other set of drill sergeants would be over you. Oh Lord, you would have thought the redheaded stepchildren worse than Annie. It was worse than Annie. They were like waiting to get their hands on us.
Wow.
It was hard. It was horrible. It was like literally going from the frying pan and into a bigger frying pan with more grease in it. Like you wanted your abuser back.
Wow.
Like just give me the regular abuse. just give me the hour and a half of sleep, but not this 45 minutes of sleep, because they would just wake you up for anything, for nothing. So it was a horrible experience at best.
So was it anything you got from it? Or did it make you tougher, I guess you're saying?
No, this is the crazy thing, because I'm from New York, like legit. Like, so I've been fighting my whole life. People, I hate to say it, you hate to be that person. Like, I used to beat people up because that's how you grew up. But, and truthfully, I was more of a peacemaker when I was in the projects. People would let their kids go with me and all the rest of that stuff. But if, I had to throw them up, I had to throw them up. But I was the person that literally would keep peace. But if it had to happen, it had to happen. So when I got to basic training, yelling and screaming, like somebody yelling and screaming at me, like that don't mean nothing to me. Like we were yelling and screaming, just don't put your hands on me.
Right.
So a lot of the girls, like all truthful, they was coming from like Wisconsin, Midwest. Like they had I don't think nobody had ever yelled at the poor girls.
So they was up there crying.
Oh man, like legit. So we had like squad leaders and platoon leaders, and so it was crazy because like immediately like they was in your face yelling, and their whole thing was to make you cry.
Oh, so So
they were trying to make you cry, just make you fall apart. So it was crazy because when we first got there, we had a certain set of drill sergeants who got us our uniforms and all the rest of the stuff. They were so nice. All right, come on, let's go eat.
So you think this gonna be good?
I'm like, this is sweet, da. Man, we got off that bus for day one of real, man.
It was over with.
I mean, it was like Godzilla and Godzooky came out. It was like crazy. So all the girls started crying. And I was not about to cry. For what, dude? All you doing is yelling. Up, down, get up. What you looking at? Don't be eyeballing me. The whole thing. I'm like, dude, why are you tripping?
That's really real. That stuff you see on TV.
It's logistically real. Those people are crazy. And so from day one, they were like, oh, so you not going to cry? Oh, we got a tough one. So they went from the crybabies to like 5 of them on my face.
Wow.
In my face. It was so much spit. Like I couldn't negotiate the spit. You know, it was like so, but they was, you know, I kid you not, and I'm not gonna curse, but my name.
You said what you want to say.
No, for the whole 8 weeks, my name was Bad A Polite. Bad A Polite. Oh, we got Bay. You know, Bay.
Yeah.
That's because I would not cry. What am I crying for?
Yeah.
Because you yelling. Like, so everybody was like, oh my God. So I immediately became a squad leader from day one.
Really?
So when I say I have been bred to be a leader,
wow.
like I have been bred to be a leader. And then within a couple of weeks, I was platoon guy. Like I was, so what that means, every time somebody else got in trouble, I got in trouble.
Oh.
It didn't matter. Any of the 50 girls got in trouble. Where's your platoon leader? Where's your platoon? Oh, dude.
Dang.
Like, dude, if you left your locker open, if you didn't make that bed where they could bounce a quarter off of it, if you didn't scrub the floor, if they found a hair in the bathroom.
So you had to make sure they were doing what they were supposed to be doing.
So not only was I not sleeping, because when everybody else went to sleep at 12:30, I had to go through and make sure that every locker was locked and there was no hair, it was a nightmare. I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And how long was boot camp like? Was it like
8
a month? Oh, 8 weeks.
It was 8 weeks, and then
and
after
8
boot
weeks
camp,
is 8 weeks is the same like they yelling in the whole 8 weeks.
Man,
they
yelling when you get off the bus. They yelling when you leaving.
Wow.
And then you go from basic training to your MOS, which is everybody in service has a job.
Okay.
So they take you to your training.
Gotcha.
So some trainings are 2 weeks and some of them are 2 years, depending on what you're training. Mm-hmm. And then they yelling there.
Really?
Oh yeah, come on, man. So it was a little bit less yelling because they're trying to train you.
Okay.
But to punish you, the punishment was physical exercise, but it's actually to strengthen you. But they use it as punishment. So for months and months and months and months, you are just degraded and just beat down. And the whole idea is to break you down and then to remold you.
Okay.
But some people just never got to the
remolding.
They like alcoholics, man. They just stay drunk. They just stay drunk in discouragement.
So cause some people just leave and I'm going home.
You know, you could in basic training you could ask to be removed. It was I don't think that you would want to do it, mm-hmm. but a couple people did get hurt, and so they had to get sent home. But it was such a badge of disgrace. Okay. That you didn't want to go home. You didn't want to do that. Yeah. Because they made you feel like you had left your mama in Iraq. Like they just wasn't gonna let you. I mean, you didn't even want to be there. Mm-hmm. And then when you're trying to leave, they make you feel like you shot your own child. You gonna leave your country? Yeah, I'm gonna leave everything. So yeah, it was either way. You were doomed either way, staying or going. You were doomed.
Yeah. So you started with that. So you did 20 years. So
20 years.
How long did it take you to get to your? So what did you do in the service when you once you?
Oh man, yeah. When I came in the Army, I was actually a cook and a dietitian.
Really?
Yeah. So
what is it good food in the Army? Or is it like jail food?
Dude, like no.
It's not good.
Nah.
What are those things they
MREs?
Yeah, like
meals ready to eat, baby.
So you add water to it, or?
Well, no, some of it was dehydrated. A lot of it was vacuum sealed, though. So you would like kind of open it, and the stuff can last like forever, like through the.
Wait, so you don't heat it up? No, you just open and eat?
Yeah, you just eat it.
So what is it though?
Some of it was like tuna fish casserole. It would.
And it's like and you just
eat it.
Oh.
But when in your backpack, you definitely have different tools. You had a canteen and different stuff to heat stuff up. But sometimes you're in wet weather gear. Sometimes it's raining.
Wow.
And we always carried our tents and extra.
Okay.
So you had ways to heat stuff up. But the stuff, I mean, it was I always remember the tuna casserole because it looked like vomit. It literally. Like I would starve first, and I would just eat, and they always had like this little peanut brittle, little thing with the tuna. So I would just eat the peanut brittle, and like that's all I would eat for like a week or so because I wasn't gonna eat the vomit. And they never gave you a chance. They would just like throw them out, like they were throwing out T-shirts at a concert.
Yeah.
And folks are like, "That's mine." I got the hamburger. So somehow I always ended up with that tuna casserole. It was vomit in a bag.
So I want to ask you too, like, what kind of guns do you guys shoot?
M16s, man.
Like, if you had one right now, you can still shoot it
Lock
and put it.
I could take it apart, put it together in less than 3 minutes.
Oh man, I always wanted to do that. I didn't want to go in the Army, but I always wanted to do that part. It's like, can I just skip and go to this part?
But we also learn, because we have to be weapons qualified 2 times a year, so you have to go to the range, and there are different levels: marksman, sharpshooter, expert. But anyway, but you You have to be able to disassemble your gun, clean it every time you went to the range and shot. And then, we also had pistols, with your handguns.
Gotcha.
We were also fortunate to go to different type of events where they would show you how to shoot the machine guns and the bazookas and so you were weapons qualified.
Wow.
Like I don't think there's much of anything that I cannot shoot. I can shoot missiles, rocket launchers. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's kind of cool. Like, do you carry it right now?
I'd have to kill you if I told you that.
Oh man.
Yeah, because you want, because I'm still a preacher, so I want everybody to think I'm pure.
I got you.
Right. You can't put out all my business in the street.
Got you. So what are you doing now though? So that's 20 years of that. So what are you doing?
Well,
now?
Long and short, I just retired. I just was.
Congratulations
I'm retiring.
on that.
Well, thank you very much.
I thought when you retire, you'd be all old and crippled.
I know,
you still,
but I'm still young doing it. But when you start so young, when you start at 19, 20 years go by, you're still young. But it was definitely. It wasn't my choice. I think I would have probably stayed in forever, I think. But
really?
No. I actually had to have surgery last year.
Okay.
So I had 2 back-to-back surgeries, and one left me with some deficits, so I could not do my job. I do anesthesia. So what's crazy is if you're anything in the military, you'll understand. But I started as enlisted. Like I was an E1, E nothing, came in as a cook, worked my way up, and then I got out, went to school, came back in as an officer.
Wow.
So I know both ends of the spectrum. Please be an officer. Let me say something to all you young people. Please don't let them people fool you talking about you be all you can be and you go in there enlisted. Get yourself a degree and become an officer. The pay is bar none. It's different between making $700 a month and making $4,000. Like I don't know if you can see the disparity. The disparity.
So do they ridiculous. Discourage them from being an officer?
It's not that. Either you qualify for it or you don't.
Okay.
So if you do not have a degree, you're enlisted.
Okay.
And if you have a degree, you're an officer.
Okay.
So it's not like they do anything. Like if you want to come out like I did not have a degree. There's no choice. You have to be enlisted. So it's the difference between the guy who was doing the fries at McDonald's and the franchise owner.
Wow. Yeah.
Why would you not just spend a little bit more time and be the franchise owner? Like it just is. It's almost like why? Why are you even doing this? And there's so many more enlisted people because the officers tell the enlisted people what to do.
Okay.
So you definitely want to be the boss.
Wow.
You want to be the boss, and I don't mind you starting somewhere, but you don't want to finish there. You want to use it for what it's worth. Get that education bonuses, get all that stuff, get out, and like I did, I used it for what it was worth.
Right.
I really wanted to go to college. I've always known that I wanted to finish and be a doctor. I've always known that. Like that was never something that I didn't know. So even when I came in as a enlisted, I knew, hey, I was gonna do my little bit of time, and then be all you can be, find a future in the Army. I went because I wanted money.
Yeah. To
go to school, and because I didn't have any family to help me sign for loans or I needed money.
Right.
So nobody's gonna loan me money.
So did you have people in your family that was in the Army? Like,
nah, I didn't have legit family. So my mom.
So you say you had no family? Like, what do you mean?
I never really knew my dad.
Wow.
I from what I understand, he came around maybe once or twice when I was little. I don't really remember that. My mom has been on substances the majority of my life.
Wow.
So since I was very little. So I didn't. I got bumped around from house to house, whoever would take me. So I've been in the system the majority of my days.
That's amazing how you people go through that. You'll never know somebody what they go through, and God. And then look at you now, like. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of push you to get where you're at right now? Cause
I know all that stuff made me.
Yeah.
It made me who I am. I know, unfortunately, people take difficulties as a bad thing.
Right.
Like they self-absorb them, but difficulties are direction.
Okay.
They literally force you to go in a certain direction. Some people take them as a whooping, or that God doesn't love you, or He doesn't care for you.
Yeah.
I said, but it's not that. It's that He's forcing you to go a certain way. There are certain things that I learned early in life through all of my horrible childhood. My mom was not a great person. I wouldn't even go into the tragedies of my life. But there are certain things that I learned early. I learned how to be alone.
Oh, okay.
I learned how to have people not care about me.
Wow.
I learned how to not be paid attention to. I was called ugly the majority of my life. I learned how to not be beautiful. And I know people are saying, "Oh my God, that's so horrible." You know, no, you're beautiful.
Yeah,
they want to,
Trying
box this. And even for my granddaughter now, I'm like, "Oh, you're so pretty."
Okay, I see. Yeah,
I'm all over her. But the truth of the matter is, like, I don't need anybody to tell me I'm pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't. Like, I already know that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, like, my eyes, I have beautiful eyes. But when I was young, like, my eyes were the same size. And, like, my face grew to my eyes.
Oh.
So, like, I had these really big eyes when I was little. So,
I've been there, yeah.
Like, yeah, they used to call me, I don't know if y'all know the game Frogger.
No.
It's an old video game, like Atari. Doot, doot.
Oh, yeah, that's for my time.
Yeah. Watch your mouth, boy. Watch your mouth. So what would happen was this frog would go across the road and you had to dodge the car. But when the car smashed him, his eyes would bug out of his head. Wah, wah. So my face was little and my eyes was this big. So they used to call me Frogger. But the gist of it was I've never been pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm an older, mature adult. And I think I'm absolutely gorgeous.
Right.
I think I'm absolutely amazing.
And nobody can tell you different.
Nobody can tell me different.
Yeah.
I can be by myself for days. I love quiet. Because I've been ignored. Like, I have been insignificant. Like, I don't need a billion people around me to tell me that my dress is cute. Like, I walk out the door, I'm like, oh, this dress is cute.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it. So a lot of stuff that you think is a difficulty or a tragedy, God used it as a stepping stone to make sure that you're isolated enough that you don't need to be insulated or inflated by anybody.
Got it.
So it's not a tragedy, honey. It's a triumph. And if you can just correct your mindset and your theology, that God doesn't make mistakes.
Right.
Yeah, I would not wish my lifestyle on anybody, but I definitely wish it on myself.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I love.
So pretty much you wouldn't change how
I wouldn't change not 1 second, not one beating, not one burning, not one horrible thing that my mom did to me. I wouldn't take away one tearful moment. I wouldn't take away one lonely moment, because now, in this space that I'm in now, they all mean something. And without them, I wouldn't be who
you are. Yeah. Wow. Like, so. Yeah, so and some people say things happen for a reason like that. Like, so maybe it might be somebody that listen to this that may be going through something, but you've been there, done that. Like, you can overcome this. Like,
yeah, but I know people really, and that word overcome and champions and if you think about them biblically, we're definitely not, in Jesus' time there's no gladiators,
right?
And, but when you look at them in their biblical aspects, and when he was using those words, and those words were all for that time, we don't. I mean, something maybe like a UFC fighting, maybe which I think is horrible.
Yes,
God, that is who
intense.
watches that? But anyway, when you think of these people that they came from nothing, they're thrown into a den of lions, or they're thrown in with people who have more arsenals than them, and they're told to win. When you have nothing, you got like a little wooden stick.
That's it.
And this guy's on a horse. He's got armor.
Swords,
he's got a javelin. He's got a sword. I mean, he's got all of that. And when you take any moment and you can conquer that, then everybody in this Coliseum is going to cheer for you.
Exactly.
Because what you just overcame
yes.
is ridiculous. Now that's more than a conqueror, because you were literally set up to fail.
Right.
And that's kind of like the devil's trick, is to make you feel like what you have in your hand is not the tool needed to fulfill your destiny. And God is saying, baby, I don't care if you had a rod, a stick, a cockroach. Whatever I gave you, it's enough to do this job.
Yeah.
And we want all of this super inflated stuff. We want the armor and the knife.
Yeah.
God said, baby, I don't need any of those things. What I need you to be is obedient and listen. And
believe in yourself.
Believe in what I gave you.
Yeah.
And we don't do that anymore. Belief and hope and faith are dwindling to the wayside, and people just don't have it anymore. As soon as something happens to them, boom, fall apart.
Yeah.
Allah. I'm like.
But and some of that too, they might not have a good example of it either. They probably see their peers as doing the same thing too.
Yeah, well, everything is televised, and we ain't getting
it's
to all
easy.
of that.
Everything's easy now.
Everything's got to be easy.
So yeah,
everything's got to be easy. So no, I don't. I hope that everybody would be an overcomer or a champion. But the thing about it is that you're already all of that.
Right, it's already in you.
It's already in you. You have every spiritual gift. You have everything that you need. There's absolutely nothing that you need that God has to give you. You just got to stir it up.
But nothing's gonna come easy though. You gotta. It's not gonna come easy. So
good luck with the easy button.
So what would you think right now? What would be your greatest accomplishment right now? You think in your life?
For me, breathing.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I take life very seriously because I have many people. I mean, I do anesthesia. I see people die all the time. I see people who were here yesterday, and we wake up and we go, "Oh my God, who died?" Like young people, old people, stars.
Like the star just died this week from Young and Restless. The I don't know his name, but he was the.
You watch soap operas?
I don't watch it.
Is that what we getting at right now?
No, I don't watch it, but that's what he's known for.
What's his name? Because you already know who it is.
No, I think his name is like Saint John or something like that.
Okay, I don't know.
But he's like the black guy from Young and the Restless.
Oh, okay, I got
so it's only it's some, but he's like
the
main
black guys of the soap operas.
Yeah, he's
right?
like the main guy. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I say off top, but if you see him, you're like, oh, he passed away.
Guy. Yeah, no, people pass away all the time. I think people get so, I don't know, big-headed where you need so much to be proud of. The fact that God gave me a breath means that I'm not done with something.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, okay, God, I still got something that's in front of me. I still got something that I need to accomplish. I'm still here. There's somebody I can still influence. Yeah. That's what I think of. So when I walk out my door and something tragic doesn't happen to me and God hasn't called me home, I'm like, okay, God, I'm proud of the fact that you still are willing to use me and that my heart is not hard. Because I know some hard-hearted people, and I'm like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, so I'm proud that God has softened my heart and that I'm still alive and I got a breath in my body.
Gotcha. So what's something that you do that makes you happy? It's like fun. Is it like family, vacations, sleep? You know,
right.
Like what is something that
in
makes
that order?
you?
Yeah. No, all jokes aside, I'm a huge family person. Like I love to laugh. I love to be around good people.
Shout out to Calvin. That's my homie there, man. That's a homie.
Let that go.
Even though I don't like his sport teams, but
here we go.
That's my buddy there. He should have been here, actually.
Oh Lord, no, he would have took over.
That's the whole point, you know.
That's why we'll bring him next time because Calvin. That's my buddy.
Yeah,
that's my buddy. I just love being around my family. I have made my own family. Literally everywhere I go, I make a family. So I love laughing. I love joy. I love making people laugh. I love anything where I'm just around people that I love. Vacations, just anything fun. Like because life is super short.
But I know life is busy too. Like how do you make time to do like spend time with your family and like vacation? I know you're busy with your business. You do multiple things. You're a boss. And then you gotta go home and be a wife, also a mother. Like, how do you find time to do that? It's like scheduling.
The unfortunate thing is I was forced into this by God because before I had my surgeries last year, I looked at my resume and literally I was doing like 12 to 16 things.
Wow.
I was doing anesthesia. I was working 50 plus hours there. I was contracted for like 5 doctors.
Wow.
I was a clinical director at Phoenix Indian Medical Center. I was an associate professor at Midwestern. I have 2 businesses. One is a nonprofit. One is a for purpose. I also I'm at my church. I'm a protocol director. I mean, I looked at it and I was just like, and then I'm also a wife and I'm a nana. I'm all these things and I thought that because I was staying busy and I was doing all these good things that they had to be godly things and I had my surgery and God told me right before he told me to sit down and I told him no. Because what was I going to put down? Because all these things were important, and all these people were depending on me. Because I had forced it to be so.
Wow.
I forced it that my business needed me, and I forced it that I had to be a clinical director, and I forced all these feelings on myself because mostly I'm just too busy. I'm too afraid to sit still.
Gotcha.
So I forced all that myself. So God told me to sit down, and I told him no. He said, "Oh, okay."
So he had to make you.
So not only did he said you're gonna sit down. He said you're gonna lay down. So I have been laying down,
Wow.
like all the way down. Like I was in rehab, like laying down. He says, no, you have to sit down. I need you to stop. Get back to the basics. Just stop. And this year has been so beautiful for me because I have been able to sit with my friends.
Okay.
Which I've never, like, I haven't been able to do that. I've always been, the word is too busy. I was too busy to have a dinner or a lunch or pick up a phone or send a text. I was just too busy. So I've been texting and having lunches with and just talking to people who are so important. So I have deducted it down to 3 things. You need to do 3 things in life. You need to serve God.
Gotcha.
You need to find some way to serve him, whether that's being an usher, I don't care what you do, protocol director, whatever. You need to find something to do to serve God.
Serving, not just going to church. Serving, right?
That going to church that ain't even your reasonable service.
Right.
That ain't. Because
some people think, I went to church for, I'm good now. But that's not,
what?
no, you have
that's
to.
That's like saying I drove by McDonald's and wonder why you're not full.
Wow. God, that's good. I like that.
Like, you need to go in. You need to get in line. You need to do the whole work. Imagine if Jesus just drove by Jerusalem. Like, no, he had to go there. He had to do the work. He had the fellowship. He had to know the people. He had to, raise people from the dead. He had to open up the blind eyes. He had to die on the cross. He had to do the work. Faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
Get to working. So doing the work,
you'll see the progress that you're doing. That you see how your life will turn around from that.
You will, and you can't forsake the fellowship. And people need to see you working. People need to see the elevation. And I use the example. There are people who are going to come in and they're going to be baby Christians.
Okay.
And they're going to need to see how you dress and how you walk and how you talk. And I hate when people go, "Oh my God, I can't believe what she got on. Why are you looking at her? Because that was you 3 years ago, boo."
Yeah. And
so
people forget.
Know what?
You
need to show her this is how you dress, and then after a while she's gonna say, "You know what? I want to dress more like her."
And it's the way you approach a person.
I want to talk more like her. That's all. That's all. You don't beat nobody over the head with your little crazy self.
And
I will quickly remind you, while you talking about what she got on, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Your child is 17 and you only been married for 15 years. Let me do the math. Yeah. Something ain't right.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So don't be so quick to judge people. Get out there and serve God. That's number 1. Okay. Serve God. Do something. Do some work. You need to make sure that you can do something to make money.
Okay.
Whatever that is, whatever job you have, make money, and then you have to do something to serve your community.
Wow.
That's loving God and loving your brother. So whatever that is.
So
you
can you go a little more in depth?
Volunteer.
Like, okay, so volunteer, like I guess you say a shelter or with kids or
you can, and those, to me, I think when you're volunteering with shelters, that's more of your duty. That's something. When I say give back to your community, you need to find out where there's a hole,
a need, yeah.
Because giving back, like when you go to a shelter, that hole has kind of been filled. That's just your civic duty. Like you're going to go serve. Look, find out that hole, because this is where everybody really needs to find out about themselves. God put everybody here for a purpose and a reason. So I don't care what it is. If you do graphic arts, if you're art, if you're a singer, if you're a doctor, if you're a social worker, whatever God put in you, if you're a teacher, then you need to use that gift, that talent, and find the hole.
Okay.
And create something that fills that hole. So you need.
And
to
you would know what it is.
You'll know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what it finds. It ends up people, and they say it all the time. Find your passion, and the money will come. Because people they went to school for some godforsaken reason to do something that they thought was going to make them money, and now you've been doing that, and you forgot your passion. Find your passion. I don't care if it's taking care of kids or whatever your passion is, your passion work, do that.
Okay.
That's what Jesus did. He came and he did his passion work. Do that. Don't worry about the money. Do that for your community.
Okay.
So find out what it is that you need to be doing that God sent you here to do, and do that. And don't worry about making money doing it. If it makes you money, that's great. So that's what you make money at your job.
Gotcha.
Then you go find out what God put you here on the earth for. So if you, like I said, if you're a graphic artist, then go make graphics for the homeless shelter so that they can put out better stuff to help people to volunteer.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. If you know how to do audio visual stuff, go do it for your church. Whatever you can find.
Like I say, you'll know it. You know what you're doing. You know
if
right
you're
now.
A model, then go make a show where people can model stuff so that money can be used as a charitable something for your church or for whatever you do that.
That's good stuff there.
So for God, for your community, and make some money. That's it. That's all I do now.
That's all
I
you
went
do.
from like 12, 15 things down to 3, and I ain't doing much of nothing else. Don't ask.
So another thing, we're gonna wrap it up, but we're gonna do like a to be continue of this podcast because we're gonna add people to this because you also have a thing that we work together with.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to go too far in, but can you go like let people know?
First of all, let me tell you something. Marcus is a beast.
This is the part that get edited.
I can't talk because his head is big. Yo, any compliment you get a Joker, like it's not. He's so inflated. Like I feel like sometimes I want to get a pen. Nah, anyway, Mark is probably one of the most humblest people I know, and his gifts just far precede him. And they're making room for him. And if you understand that scripture, like literally, you think that you can't do what you love, and God says, "Go do what you love, and I'll make room for you." And me and Marcus, I was just talking to him. It was a few years ago. I think it's about 3 years ago. We were talking. He was working way out of his passion, way out of it. And he was like, "Man, I really just want to do my passion." I said, "Okay, well, let's go ahead and pray that." And we prayed, and I said, "I'm telling you, it's going to happen." He was like, "Yeah, I can see it. Might be." I said, "No, I'm telling you, like, bro, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and when it happens, it's going to happen quick." And now he's working in his passion full time. So we were able to work together because he does fantastic work. Okay. But don't try to snatch my. I got the mic. But he does fantastic work at what he does. But I have a youth and young adult ministry. I call it ministry, career building. I help kids figure out what they want to be when they grow up because it's hard out here to figure out what you want to be when you're 14 and 16 and 18, and that's when you have to figure it out. And
most of them just want to be a basketball player, a model, a rapper. And that stuff, if it don't happen, then what you gonna do? Yeah.
Trying to work on that thought process. And when you tell me you want to be a football player, we go through the stats: 3,300 schools, 52 players on each side. But it's do that multiplication. There's only 88 kids getting drafted, and then most NFL players have some kind of career-ending injury within 3 to 5 years, and most of them are broke within or have some financial strain within 5 to 7 years after their career. That's kind of the plight of an NFL player. In a nutshell, many of them do make it, but it's a very low chance of you becoming one, and an even lower chance of you being successful in life for the continuum of your life as one. So definitely want to make sure you have a plan A and B, and make being an NFL player maybe a C or D, because it's like saying, hey, I want to win the lottery as a career. That's basically what you're saying to me. And when you say that, I'm like, let's go ahead and get your plan A and B together, and then when that C thing happens, when you do get picked up, man, we all celebrate and we all with you. But when you make that your A plan and it don't come to, I feel like I'm working, looking at one of them shows, Not Drafted. It's like this kid is like living with his mama, trying to get picked up by any team. I'm like, oh my God, where's your plan A, baby? Where's your plan A?
Have that. And you kind of can blame their parents or their peers, like their teachers. Like they should be teaching them that. Like this shouldn't be your main thing, even though you're talented.
No, but they tell them go in. If you believe it, go hard. Yeah, go hard.
They want something from that. They want to be a part of that too.
Yeah, but this is the thing, and I know they keep saying, oh, you're young, and you can always go to school. But you was in school. Like it wasn't like you dropped out of high school. So you were in school. You could have got the great grades while you were in high school, and then you were in college. So you could have got great grades while you were in college. So it's not like you were not in the environments that you needed to be. So you could have already been getting your business degree. You could have, while you were doing football, you're already there.
Yeah.
So why not come out with something that's going to help you on the back end? So you're still doing that draft thing, but you can also be at home at night doing somebody's books as an accountant.
Right.
So you're not broke trying to make that dream happen. So it's just kind of alternative ways. Maybe you can do be a dental hygienist, whatever it is. You could have went to a trade school. Who cares? So that you got something to live off, to bite off of while you're trying to follow that dream. So we do youth and young adult career building. I just don't want any kid to be able to say, I don't know. When you ask them what you want to be, I don't know, or like one word, I don't know, like I don't even know what that is. And when we were younger, we wanted to be a doctor, scientist, ballerina, fireman. You find out you can only be one of those, at best. And now a lot of kids, they just don't know what they want to be. So we do career development here in Phoenix. Every month we do a different simulation. So we make the kids do it. So whether the month is the legal month or medical month, or
and you actually bring in like lawyers and real doctors,
like real
and
lawyers
sports
and
people.
real doctors and real.
And they
sports
tell you
people.
if it's like school is hard, but you can do it.
You can do it.
So some people say like, oh, you could be a doctor and then look like that.
No.
And you go like, this is hard. I don't want to do this, but they tell you like, it's do it,
hard,
but you can do it. You can do it.
And we bring out the equipment. I bring out the intubating equipment and the IV starters and all the drugs, and we have real pharmacists and real doctors. And then if you're going to be a lawyer, I get judges to come and talk to you, and we go through a court day, and there's somebody's going to be a prosecutor and a defendant, and you're going to be a juror, and you're going to go through a case, and then you can say, I really did like being a lawyer, because this is the thing, most kids are not exposed to a judge, or they're not exposed to a doctor unless they're going to a doctor. They're not exposed to an artist or a football player to be able to give you the real deal. And then you can really say, I thought I wanted to be a teacher, but I really don't like them kids.
Yeah,
them kids was bad. and I wanted to hurt that little kid. So I don't think I want to be a teacher no more. But we also get into the logistics, like how much does it cost to be a teacher, and how much does school cost, and how much payback am I going to have to do? It don't make no sense for you to go to no 4-year college and rack up no $60,000-$80,000 worth of debt, and you making $36,000 a year. We talk about the logistics. Hey, parents, hear me. Don't be sending your kids to no 4-year college and have them come out with no $80,000 worth of debt, and then they're gonna make $36,000. And this is your job, when they're younger and they're 14 and 16 and 18, and even from 18 and we go all the way up to 29 to help them navigate this system. And that's what we do. And we're actually, which is why Maarcus is, oh my goodness, Maarcus is the dude. We're actually launching an online program now. So even if you're not here in the Phoenix area,
you can still
be a part of it. And we're working out all the systems and kinks now. You can go to challengelife.com, and it's Lyfe, it's Lyfe. So
it's spelled different.
Ly, not Life. So challengelife.com or lifefoundation.org. Once again, Lyfe is Lyfe. It actually stands for something. So you can go to either one of those websites, and challengelife.com just launched, and you can begin to sign up to be the first to be notified about our online platform that's coming out.
They can check out the social media too. You have Facebook.
Social media, we got a Facebook page. Yep. So
and what the reason why I say it's gonna be to be continued is we're gonna have, because you gotta have a staff pretty much to do it. You can't do this by yourself, so you gotta have a team. So we're gonna have a team in here,
the whole team?
And they're gonna kind of talk to you, because basically it's kind of sending with my podcast. My podcast is kind of help people become something, like to help you if you want to be a chef, somebody that have somebody here that kind of like help you do it. We talk about sports, we talk about shoes, we talk about other things, but the main thing about the podcast,
shoes on the table for some reason. I'm not sure about that.
So some of my podcast people know I'm a sneakerhead. So
but his sneakers are on the table. I'm not. Get a shot of that. But anyway, go ahead.
But that's basically what it is. So we're gonna have them come in here, we have a good time, but they're gonna kind of get what they do for Lyfe Foundation, kind of have people, because we really want people to know about the Lyfe Foundation Channel Life, because this is gonna be a great platform that not many people I know in Phoenix doing this. So this it's gonna be real helpful. So
definitely.
So like I said, we're not gonna be here all day with this. We want to kind of get to know the founder and the owner with this whole thing. And then, like I said, I still want Calvin to come here one time.
Oh my goodness, Calvin. I'm just gonna move. Sports. I'm gonna move to the side, and I'm just gonna let my husband just like talk it up.
Shout out to Calvin. You listen to this.
Oh my goodness, don't give him no shout out. He be running around the corner here in a second. He be around the corner in a second. So
that's it. So like I said, we appreciate you coming in. This is the 17th episode.
I appreciate you having me.
It's gonna do. So like I say, also if you guys want to watch this, if you listen to it, you can watch it. It's gonna be audio and video, even though she didn't want me to do the video part. So we're gonna do both.
Had me looking crazy. He told me he was doing audio, so I came in here looking busted.
So
I'm glad I don't got a baseball cap on right now.
So we're gonna do like I said, you can watch it on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. You go to Podbean, you can listen to that. YouTube. Like that. We used to do, and that's another thing we might do. We might do a Facebook Live with the girl, so people can ask questions.
So awesome, man.
So people can kind of know and kind of ask questions at the same time.
Let's do that.
Have people
you didn't
call
offer
in.
me that, but that's cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah, cause I like to do Facebook Live. I want to do it ahead of time, let people know that we doing it. I just pop up.
So me by myself, I wasn't.
No, I didn't. I put it on me. I wasn't prepared for it. So
I just wanted to make sure you understood.
So we're gonna do that. So like I said, we'll have people call in. People can we could read the questions on there and kind of go from there. So
because definitely that will help people to understand what Challenge Life and the Lyfe Foundation does, and definitely how to get your kids involved. Parents, don't buy them 200 like these sneakers on the table.
See, I didn't get this one. It's nothing. I didn't get these as a kid, So when I got older,
none of this as no kid. I did not have doctors and nurses and Swiss people come and talk to me and tell me legitimately not only how they got there but how to get there. This is like us throwing down the rope. We done went up the hard side of the mountain and now we're just throwing down the rope and telling kids exactly how to get there and what it looks like, and also making them do it, simulation. So we actually make them do it, and they can see, you know what, I thought I liked being this, but now that I've done it, I really don't like that. I like this. And the hope is really that, once before kids leave high school, because we want to get into every single school, we want kids before they leave high school to be able to say they've explored 5 careers, because it doesn't make no sense for you to go to college and you going to school, you taking classes, you don't even know what you want to be. You just taking
changing your
school,
minor, changing my major.
And the new Gallup poll came out and said that 85% of people either hate their jobs or they're looking for another one. You know why? Because they still don't know what they want to be. How about 85%. You do some career exploration? So we got to get them young and start wasting y'all money in these colleges, and let them at least explore 5 careers so they can say, you know what, I really do think I want to be a teacher, but let me make sure I do it the right way and don't rack up a bunch of debt. And then that way I can enjoy my $36,000, because you can do a lot with $36,000 when you don't got $80,000 of debt over your head. So yeah, let's do it.
But it's gonna be good. So like I said, it's gonna be to be continued. So with this, we're gonna have a good time. So thank you guys for listening to the Maarcus Hall podcast with Miss V.
Let's do it.
So stay tuned.